Malta's as challenging as any racetrack you'll ever go to, and the competition tonight will be as fierce as any race you'll go to all year. So the fact that I've sat out most of the year, we did test a brand new car last night. It tested really, really well. So I'm really optimistic going into tonight. But you know, quite honestly, I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I was just a 10-year-old kid. My parents took me to the track. We happened to run into somebody that we knew that was racing there, that my dad had a childhood friend that was racing there, and from that point, the interest started to begin. One thing led to the other, and I began go-kart racing shortly thereafter and got pretty proficient at that. And that led to my debut at Orange County Fair Speedway as a driver in 1975. By the time that I was in my early 20s, I had already won some sportsman championships. I'd won the modified championship at Orange County in '79. So we did it as a family, and we did it with a bunch of friends, and we started out just like everybody else, and you know, working out of the garage at the house, and it was all about racing it. That's all we did. If we were going to do this the way that we did it, which was full-time, on 7 days a week, it was going to be for success. It wasn't going to be for participation. So we put everything that we had into it every day. I put people around me that felt the same way about it. And you know, all those things combined, I mean, it was all about being the best team, the best operation that we could be, the best preparation, the best driver that I could be once I got to the track. And that, you know, that was just the driving force. It was a driving force with a large group of people that helped me along the way. We got to go to Daytona 4 times for the Busch Series. Priceless experience. I learned so much about not only driving, but just racing, the technical side of racing, the business side of racing.
Late in the race with 7 laps to go. That's L.D. Ottinger getting around. But watch this. Sailing through the picture comes Brett Hearn, the New Jersey driver. From another angle, Hearn has been taken to Halifax Hospital for x-rays of a potential ankle injury. The
struggle that we had was that, you know, we would go to a Busch race where we had no chance of winning, that paid $10,000 to win, when we could go to a dirt race which paid $10,000 to win and have a pretty darn good shot at winning it. So it was always just a balance, because I was racing for a living. So it was a balance between, am I gonna be mediocre at everything, or am I gonna go back and focus on what I know I can be good at, and try to make the most of it. You know, we just went and shot into the stratosphere in the early 90s with our dirt career. It's a nice thing to be able to say you have over 900 wins in your career. You know, I never really spent a lot of time looking backwards. I always look forward. So for me, you know, to come out here part-time this week and race the OktoberFAST, you know, 920 would be awesome.
To just check shop travels.
We got to do something about that. We can't fix that every fucking week.
Are we doing anything with stagger or anything like that?
What do you feel? I mean, what do you want to cut some out? I mean, if it's turning all right, I'd rather leave it up, because I think it's going to stay heavy for a little while. I think you'll be able to utilize that.
But you're not going to be able to run on the heavy stuff. It's going to widen out, but the part that we're running on is going to get slipperier. I think I would. Was that like 7.5?
7.25, I believe.
The track really slowed down from the first set to the last set.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Quickly.
Oh, yeah, big time. Nobody in the last set was any good. Stu included. Stu was 30. Really? But the last group, nobody. Oh, so overall doesn't really represent anything? Not at all.
No.
You were like probably second fastest in your group when you went out. Oh, really? Yeah, but that doesn't, you know. Okay.
147. Yeah, it does. Okay, I'm gonna go put it on. When you settled into the turn there, it didn't drop like that drastic drop that we used to get. It was very subtle. It was smooth.
Like a Matt Williamson drop. Yeah. You know, he just kind of floats in.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. It was a very smooth transition from 3-wheel back down.
I got every race. We had the video rolling all night long. I don't know if I hold my gut in that long.
Oh, jeez. You know what Becky told me that means? You're happy.
And comfortable.
Exactly.
One thing happened early in my career when I first started winning, it might have been like my second or third year. I was deeply affected by the fact that once you started to win more than your share, or than your perceived share of races, that the people that you thought were your friends, they weren't so much your friends anymore. So I really kind of, at that point decided that, okay, if I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it well, I can't make everybody be my friends. I'm just gonna stay to myself, do the best that I can do, be the best that I can be, and whatever happens, beyond that happens. And I really didn't trust a lot of people, so I pretty much just kept to myself and just again tried to be the best that I could be.
There's a big cushion, but the track is dry in between that and the bottom. You know what I mean?
Did it widen out much?
It did widen out, yes, but you get a launch off right on the inside, yeah.
Bring it down to 80. Probably go up like maybe 2 full turns.
Yep. If you take the spring load out of the extended spring load,
We're just taking extended load.
Right. Yeah. So that puts less emphasis on the left rear. It doesn't make the car pivot so fast.
It takes it off the right front. So the more extended load you give it, the more it
wants to hike
kind
up
of
and
works
roll
in the
over.
right front corner. And that's the theory we're going with. So when you take extended load out, like if you gap this out, it's usually better for drive.
Right.
Because it lets, like when you accelerate, it lets
So let
it
the
like,
car rotate back.
if you got 2 inches of gap, it lets it kind of sit on the left
Like
rear.
I said, I wouldn't take a big swing at it.
Yep.
So far tonight, we've been pretty quick right out of the box. We did have a very loaded up heat race a heat race group. So, I didn't really know what to expect, but we ended up third overall in our group, which puts us in a pretty good spot in the heat race to get back in a draw position, which is our goal right now. Track's going to slow down; it's going to get slipperier, so we'll continually tighten the car up as we go, try to keep up with the track, and not try to go too extreme. In this kind of field, I mean, time trials can make or break your night. So, we still have a little bit of work to do in the heat race, but I'd rather be starting in third than eighth. Track's getting dirty. Track's getting dirty. I needed to clear it. And then I would have moved up and I would have been fine.
Just couldn't quite get
to it. I was almost there a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Unless I did him dirty, I could have done him dirty and slid him. I think if you put more weight in it, you're going to make it rotate faster getting in the corner.
So this is what I would do is just put 4 or 5 turns in the left rear.
Wedge it up a little bit.
Extended load in frame line. So it's just going to give it a little bit more weight, but it's going to get it up, and that gives it side bite. That's what I learned that we do with Kevin, and he does that a lot. When you put just the turns in the left rear, it gives you the side bite more than the left rear weight. He'll counteract 2 rounds of weight from putting an extra 4 turns in that just to get it to drive a little bit better.
All my guys have been together for several years together, so they kind of know the drill. When the car comes in, it goes up on jack stands. They know what to do. They know what to look for. It's sort of a well-orchestrated, system that we have here.
You got the fun out? Yeah. Like that is just, yeah.
I was never on anybody's payroll, so I was on my own payroll. And when you're on your own payroll, it sometimes is in your own business, essentially. I mean, it's more than a 40-hour-a-week job. It's 7 days a week, whether you're at the race shop, at the track, traveling to a race, you're still thinking about what you got to do tomorrow, what you got to do today. So those things I think are just in my character. So it depends on how you want to look at it. You can say I didn't have a job. You can say I had a job that was 7 days a week. It's just your perception.
I'm trying to talk to somebody. There's nobody to talk to.
What were you saying?
Loose, bad loose. It's got really loose.
You got to get qualified better. You have to have a better starting spot. This is a very tough field, and most of the cars are within a couple tenths of each other. So, to come from 15th or 16th or 20th, very difficult task on a track like this where you really just can't get a run on anybody. So you're pretty much relegated to where you are, give or take a couple spots. I think the coolest thing is, and I'm not just saying this for myself, but this is what people have told me, is that, for not only did I set the bar for most of the other race teams in terms of the way that I raced, the way that I prepped, the way that I did business. Not only did I set the bar, but I set it for a very, very long period of time. I've had guys come to me that have helped me in the 90s that say, I just can't believe that you're still doing this at the level that you're doing it at. Guys come into the sport, they go out of the sport. Not a lot of guys hang around at the top of the sport for that long a period of time. So if there's anything I could say that I'm really proud of, it's probably that first and foremost.